This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLesio and Kenny Burgamy.
Good morning, afternoon, evening maybe, I don't know. That's the beauty of DVR. We're on all the time, and no, we are not AI generated.
No, we are not. Happy to have you with us for the next 30 minutes. Sit tight, because we've got a packed show for you. Coming up, discover a charming family farm turned agritourism hotspot in Northwest Georgia. From zip lines to pumpkins, it's rural adventure the whole family can enjoy. From military service to farming innovation, meet the couple behind Chewy's Backyard Farm. Quality and care from hatchery to table. Plus,
well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick. Coming up a little bit later, we're talking livestock showing and reducing animal stress and youth stress who show them. This one's a little bit stressed and making me a little stressed. All that and so much more starts right now on the Farm Monitor.
Well, nothing says fall better than making that annual trip to pick out that perfect pumpkin, am I right? John Holcomb took a trip to Rocky Hollow Patch in Floyd County ahead of their season opening to show you around and share in his pumpkin fun.
Here in Northwest Georgia, this centuries-old farm has been transformed into a picturesque agricultural landscape. The farm, which has been in the same family for several generations, is now in the hands of Kay and Kent Dyer, who have made it into a beautiful venue and engaging agritourism destination, one that offers a zip line, a petting barn, and perhaps their biggest attraction, their pumpkin patch.
It has evolved. I don't think we really had an idea as to what we were getting into or how much work it was really going to be at our age, but it has been very rewarding and enjoyable. We visited pumpkin patches, and when my grandchildren would leave, I would ask them what was their favorite activity. So those were activities that we decided to include in our pumpkin patch when we opened.
After doing research and brainstorming ideas, they decided to plant their first small patch of pumpkins 6 years ago, and since have expanded their patch to 5 acres and grow 25 varieties of pumpkins.
It was important for us to have pumpkins grown here on the farm. We do have to supplement by buying a few pumpkins. As the business increases in growth, that tends to happen a little bit more. But as that increases too, we're also increasing our number of acres that we plant. This year we have about 5 acres of planted pumpkins. We started with about a 2-acre field and are up to about 5 acres now. We probably really need to double that size and will over the next few years.
However, as Dyer explains, growing pumpkins is no easy task, as the Georgia heat has caused a plethora of issues for them this season, which between the weather and issues with deer has caused them to lose a significant part of their crop, but are still happy about opening up the patch to the public this fall.
The weather has really hurt us this year because of so many days of heat index, above 110 heat index and high temps approaching 100 degrees. The pumpkins do not do well in temperatures that excessive. Neither do they do well when we have a lot of rain. So the dry year this year helps us in some ways, but hurts us because it's been excessive heat. So no matter what type pumpkin we planted during this time season, we're not going to have a good crop. We're probably at about maybe a 40% crop this year.
Reporting in Cave Spring for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Well, if there's one event that showcases the evolution of antique tractors as well as an array of attractions, it's the annual Emmons Farm Heritage Days. And this year was no exception as organizers celebrated the 26th anniversary. Founder Rick Minner once again emphasizing the sense of community and ongoing support from the likes of both Henry County and Clayton County Farm Bureau, making this tradition a testament to its enduring legacy and South Fayetteville's agricultural history.
I mean, when we started out and beginning to honor the farm and heritage of our little community here, we didn't know where it would go, but it's really built up, and we get young people involved, which has been very encouraging because we can't make it, you know, off old timers like me. We got to have young blood in here, and it's coming along. We're real tickled. We've had a lot of good support this year, and hope for keep on growing in the future.
Here in Georgia, poultry is a thriving industry worth over $4 billion annually. But pasture-raised birds make up only a tiny fraction due to the extra time required for their care. Nevertheless, Chewy's Backyard Farm in Haralson County is boldly stepping in to meet this market demand. Damon Jones reports.
When you think of poultry farming operations around the state, this is probably the picture that comes to mind. But that's not the case here at Chewy's Backyard Farm, where they raise and sell pasture-raised chicken on an operation that has really evolved over the years.
So after 25 years of being in the military, I knew I wanted to get back to the land. So we started, my wife Katie and I started out small on an acre and a half in Polk County, just growing vegetables, going to farmers markets. And the demand kind of exceeded what we had. So we decided in 2021 to pull up operations and go look for more land.
And with that new land came a new idea. As for the moment of inspiration, it came about while selling their products at a local farmer's market.
One day at one of our farmers markets, I talked to another beef vendor and I asked him about chicken. And he was like, yeah, people are constantly asking me for chicken, and I just don't want to do it. It's a lot of work and I don't want to do it. And I said, well, you know, basically a light bulb went off in my head. There's a market opportunity there.
A lot of work might even be an understatement, with the process of raising these birds to maturity being a daily grind that begins from day one.
We actually go down to Ray City, Georgia, pick up the birds from the hatchery. That's the first time we handle them. Put them in the brooder, we monitor the brooder constantly, then we move them out on the field, and then we move the chicken tractors every day to fresh grass. So they're not sitting in their waste, they're constantly getting fresh grass, fresh feed, fresh sunlight, that type of thing. I spend probably 5 to 6 hours a day either moving them, monitoring them, feeding them.
But all that time and sweat equity pays off in the final product, as they are able to oversee every step of the process in order to maintain the highest quality possible.
I definitely feel like you control the quality better. Of course, they're getting sunlight, they're getting all that vitamin D, they're getting all the vitamins and minerals that are in the ground, in the grass, and I can kind of also monitor their health as well when we're moving them and stuff. I can see if there's, all right, I can tell if something's wrong with that one. I can maybe pull that one out of the flock or out of that tractor and isolate it to maybe so I don't have loss.
As for the farm's name, while it might sometimes be confused for a dog food company, it's actually an ode to its actual boss.
In our other property that we lived on, we had this big back window in both the breakfast nook and in the living room, and he would sit out at that window and look at the backyard. So that was the area that we were actually going to start to turn over and plow and grow produce in. And I said, well, that's Chewy's backyard, so we need to ask him if we can farm it. So basically, there's where it stuck.
Reporting from Haralson County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Well, everybody, Ranger Day coming up. I'm hanging out with Bo and Grogu the pig. It's show season. We're talking about how to reduce stress on the youth and the animals after this.
Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Just looking. I only buy local and sustainable, so.
Oh, well, that shirt's not local. You should be wearing cotton. Georgia's a major supplier of cotton worldwide, so if you'd like to buy local to support Georgia, buying cotton's a great place to start. It's renewable and sustainable, naturally.
Thanks.
Now, that's a polyester fiber made of oil, by the way.
Where's your dressing room?
Our valued partnership highlights the great movement we have together and how farming and trucks have gone together for over 100 years. Thank you, Farm Bureau, for your partnership and support in making Ford F-Series the top-selling truck for a consecutive 43 years. We are built Ford proud and built Ford tough.
Farm Bureau members receive $500 bonus cash on select Ford model trucks.
peanuts are as American as the crack of a bat at the baseball game. Or the peanut butter and jelly sandwich moms across America pack in lunchboxes every day. Research shows peanut products have a variety of health benefits and are so versatile you can find them in every meal or snack. Georgia's peanut farm families take great pride in growing nearly 50% of the nation's peanuts and providing you with an affordable, sustainable, and nutritious food. Information and recipes can be found at gapeanuts.com.
We are delighted to be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Seal of Cotton. It was created in 1973 to convert an agricultural commodity product into a well-known consumer brand. That's exactly what we have done. 50 years and for decades now, more than 8 out of 10 consumers know exactly what the Seal of Cotton means, what it represents, and how important it is to their daily activities and to choosing the most comfortable, highest quality, and most sustainable apparel. For years now, it's talked about sustainability and what that means, whether that's durability or it's good for the earth. When we began the campaign back in the 1980s, it connected cotton like no other fiber has ever done with the consumer. And the new generation, we're introducing it to them too in a way that is fresh and new and innovative and things that they do every day, such as gaming, looking at brand partnerships at retail, as well as still continuing to be on TV, really targeting that next generation of consumers that will purchase cotton for all of us. If the listeners would like to learn more, go to thefabricofourlives.com. They can also go to different retailers and brands that we're working with. This fall, we have a large partnership coming out with Aeropostale, where they can go and they're going to see wonderful signage, including that famous and iconic Seal of Cotton in windows and online. We have a recycling program, bluejeansgogreen.org, that we would love for the growers to participate in and learn more about.
So meet Athena and Bo. Now, Bo is the one in the yellow shirt. Athena, of course, is in brown. It's that time of the year where in Georgia we're doing a lot of fairs and there's a lot of livestock showing and a lot of livestock judging. And I want to introduce you to somebody that knows a few things about both of those, and that's Carol Knight. Hey, Carol, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
I'll tell you what, it's so great to spend some time with you today. And one of the special things about what Miss Carol does is she's a 4-H extension specialist specifically in livestock. And one of the things I want to talk about today first is the difference between livestock showing and judging. We've seen both of them likely at a fair. What would you say is the difference between the two to start?
Well, so livestock showing is where a youth has a livestock project, and that could be numerous species, cattle, beef cattle, dairy cattle, pigs, sheep or goats. Okay. So lots of different animals, farm animals out there. And so they come and exhibit their project. So they're looking for a critique on their project and are getting judged themselves on their showmanship skills and how good their animal is.
And think about the life skills that are coming with that specifically.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, the judging side?
Yes. So the judging side is where the youth actually learn to critique the animals. So they are the ones judging the animals in a class and placing them, ranking them on how good they stack up for their breed and their purpose.
And those kind of things, both those life skills that are being learned through that process are essential, but the idea of showing and the idea of presenting that animal in front of an audience, there's a lot of things that are going on that could create some stress. And this month, this segment is about reducing that stress on the youth, on the animal, and potentially the parents. And so what I want to do next with you is talk about preparing that individual child to present that animal before an audience, and then we're going to talk about what do you do to reduce the stress of the animal. So let's go there next. Well, Athena is being such a great guest with me today, and when you're doing livestock showing, there's probably no doubt a lot of stress involved. It's pretty stressful just right now with me holding Athena like this. And Miss Carol, if I am, as I am today, a pretty inexperienced livestock handler, what is some things that you're doing to prepare me to enter the show ring?
Absolutely. So much like any competition that you're preparing for, especially when you're working with a partner,
right,
practice at home is the most important thing. So making sure that you and your partner are very accustomed to each other, and that the 4-H'er and the animal are both prepared for what's going to happen on show day. So it's a lot of time together developing that camaraderie and that trust with each other, so that when the 4-H'er asks them to do something, they're ready for that.
Right.
And so we encourage any new showman to watch a show that they're not participating in, so they know what to expect. And then on show day, we often encourage those kids to watch classes before they go in the ring, so they know how to go in, what the judge is going to ask them to do, so that they're prepared and they're not caught off guard by anything like that. It's going to be stressful enough, even when you know what to expect.
And you know, something that's really special that I'm thinking about is there's attention being put on this animal, and maybe that attention is less on me as a 4-H'er, and I would think that that would make me feel better, because the attention's on the animal and maybe not on me and the snot that's running down my arm right now, you know, so that's a great thing. What I want to do next, because I want to wrap this up with you, lady, is I want to talk about animal stress and what do we do to reduce animal stress. And so I'm going to switch animals and talk about a different class of animal. I want to go and do that next. All right, Miss Carol, it's show day at the fair, and if you've been to a fair before at home, you know there's all kinds of sounds. The midway rides are rolling around, you got strollers coming by, people screaming and laughing at all kinds of sounds. On that animal, that's a lot of stress.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you doing to help that 4-H agent help that youngster prepare that animal?
Sure, so there's a certain amount of stress that's always going to happen when we take these animals off from their normal farm. So when we take our pigs off from the farm, it's stressful, but we do things and we teach our agents to do things to help reduce that. And so that includes keeping the animal on a routine, so feeding at consistent times, making sure that they're on a good health plan, so you want them as healthy as possible so the stress doesn't affect them as hard.
For us too.
You know, making sure they get plenty of water, and then also just being patient when they're at the show, because there's going to be a lot of external stimulus that affect them that you never know what to expect, and so we're going to be patient and we're going to take our time exposing them to that, and hopefully it's a good experience.
And out on a farm like this, do you ever bring in extra loud noises? I mean, blow the horn in the truck, do things to get them used to that?
Actually, we do. So a lot of times we'll play a radio in the barn so they get accustomed to outside noises. We walk them in different places out of the routine so that they get accustomed to doing new and different things. We will load them on and off the trailer just at home so they're accustomed to doing that too. So yeah, we try to expose them to as much as we can.
You know, I love this. It's such a topic right now we talk about with rural stress, but I don't think we've spent enough time talking about stress on the animal. Everybody knows I'm a big animal nut. Stress on the youngster and that whole process. This has been really enlightening today for me. Miss Carol, thank you so much.
Awesome.
It's been great. I'm glad nobody got hurt out here. Animals are smiling. We had a great day together. I hope y'all enjoyed this at home. Well, you know what to do. While you're online learning more about fairs and festivals going on with livestock showing and judging, check out the Ranger Nick Facebook page, check out the Farm Monitor Facebook page, and until next time, as I always say, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you as I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here again this time next month. See ya.
Well, next week we usher in a new era of the Farm Monitor as we proudly welcome UGA's Dr. Tracy Brigman as the new host for our monthly recipe segment, Meals from the Field. Tracy brings an impressive array of credentials to the show, including registered dietitian and director of the Family and Consumer Sciences Education Program. Needless to say, we are thrilled to have Tracy and UGA a part of the Farm Monitor family. Up next, the double whammy for both the Monitor and Georgia Farm Bureau President Tom McCall. Find out how a dedication to ag reporting and our special coverage from Cuba resulted in two very coveted awards.
You see, many of the fruits and vegetables you eat every day are grown right here in Georgia. Our fertile soil and mild weather are ideal for growing fruits and vegetables like cucumbers, bell peppers, squash, and eggplants. Let's take a closer look at how they get from Georgia farms to your table. Are you cool as a cucumber? This popular saying comes from the cucumber's ability to stay cool when the temperature heats up. In fact, cucumbers can be 20 degrees cooler on the inside than the air that surrounds them. Cucumbers are a vine fruit related to watermelon, pumpkins, and squash. Cucumber seeds are very sensitive to cold weather, so they must be planted after the soil begins to warm in the spring. They like plenty of sunshine and nutrient-rich soil that is moist but not soggy. Cucumber vines like to climb. A trellis helps keep the cucumbers clean while they grow. One vine can produce up to 125 cucumbers. It can take up to 20 bee visits to pollinate each cucumber flower. Sometimes the farmer sprays sugar water on the vines to attract more bees. Cucumbers contain most of the essential vitamins you need every day, as well as lots of healthy fiber and potassium. Bell peppers are the crunchy, sweet-tasting variety of their famously spicy cousins, the jalapeno and habanero. The pepper is actually a fruit because it comes from a flowering plant and contains seeds. Did you know that green, red, yellow, and orange bell peppers are all the same variety? The colors appear as green bell peppers continue to ripen. Peppers are grown from seeds that are planted in pairs to help protect them from the sun and improve the amount of peppers they produce. Peppers are extremely heat sensitive. Regular watering keeps them cool and hydrated as the peppers continue to grow. Sweet bell peppers have lots of vitamin C, vitamin A, essential minerals, and other disease-preventing health benefits. Did you know there are many varieties of squash? The word squash actually comes from a Native American word that means eaten raw. But we definitely like our squash cooked. There are two types of squash. Summer squash comes from a bushy plant with fruit that is picked while still immature. Yellow and zucchini are varieties of summer squash. Winter squash are vine plants with fruits that are allowed to grow and ripen until fall, developing a protective skin that can keep up to 6 months in cool, dry storage. Winter squash varieties include acorn, butternut, spaghetti, and pumpkin. Squash are often planted after other spring crops. In fact, planting a few seeds in midsummer helps avoid many early spring plant pests and diseases. Squash plants need a lot of sun and nutrient-rich soil. The soil needs to stay moist 4 inches below the surface. All squash are naturally low in calories. Winter squash are an excellent source of many essential vitamins and minerals. The pigments that give squash their color can help fight disease and infection. Squash seeds, like pumpkin, are a good source of healthy fats and protein. And summer squash are a great source of vitamin C and dietary fiber. Eggplants likely got their English name from the color and shape of one variety, which can vary from round and white to slender and purple. This tender vegetable is a key ingredient of many international cuisines and easily takes on the flavor of savory sauces. Like its cousin, the tomato, the eggplant belongs to the nightshade family of plants and was once actually thought to be poisonous. Cultivation of eggplants begins indoors 2 months before the soil warms up. The farmer plants these seedlings 2 to 3 feet apart and applies nutrients every 2 weeks during the growing season. He'll pinch off parts of the plant to promote a taller, bushier shape. Stakes are needed to support when the plant begins to fruit. Eggplants are low in calories and offer many health benefits, including dietary fiber, essential vitamins, and minerals. The purple skin of the eggplant can help fight aging, inflammation, and disease. Georgia-grown vegetables like cucumbers, bell peppers, squash, and eggplants aren't just good, they're good for you. So be sure to look for Georgia-grown produce at a market near you.
Well, needless to say, it was a triumphant occasion for Georgia Farm Bureau and the Farm Monitor at the recent Georgia Association of Broadcasters Awards. GFB President Tom McCall receiving the prestigious Golden Mike Award for his unwavering dedication to the preservation and sustainability efforts of AM radio. Adding to the celebration, the Monitor taking home a Gabby for our special coverage from Cuba, highlighting the nation's agricultural struggles and the potential of trade possibilities with the U.S. should the current sanctions ever be lifted. So a huge honor and an even bigger thanks to everyone at GAB for recognizing President McCall and the team at the Farm Monitor.
Yes, thanks so much. And thank you for making this show possible. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and enjoy the week ahead.